As the world population continues to rise, pollution inevitably will rise as well. Cars, houses, businesses, even animals give off some amount of carbon dioxide. To counter this, scientists have long been trying to find something that is a clean, effective alternative to traditional forms of energy. So today, we're going to be taking a closer look at one of those alternatives, specifically the solar panel. The concept of harnessing the sun's rays for energy was first discovered in 1873 when selenium was determined to have photoconductive properties. In the decades after this discovery, scientists across the globe discovered different elements reacted in different ways to sunlight. However, it was not until 1954 when the first silicon photovoltaic cell was created to harness energy from sunlight. At this point, only 4% of the sunlight captured could be converted to energy. The idea was monumental. Scientists used this discovery to improve the concept in 1959 by creating an array of cells on a grid to improve the efficiency to 10%. However, it was not until 1970 when solar was normalized. Innovation allowed the price of a watt of solar energy to decrease to $20. Solar panels began to pop up in remote areas where traditional forms of electricity could not reach. In 1994, a breakthrough occurs, as 30% efficiency is achieved. In 2001, Home Depot begins to sell solar panels, allowing the average homeowner to use solar energy. This is compounded today by rapidly decreasing solar panel costs that allow it to be competitive with traditional forms of energy. Solar panels work in a 5-step process. First, silicon voltaic cells absorb sunlight. Then, the sunlight absorbed interacts with the silicon to make the electrons in the silicon move. These electrons that are moving begin to create a direct current. This direct current is then fed to a converter, which is made into alternating current. And finally, this alternating current can be stored and used as electricity. Here you can see a scanning electron microscoped image of an arrangement of silicon cells. Historically, solar cells have been created by using a number of different elements. Cadmium sulfide, copper sulfide, and cadmium telluride have all been used to create cells. However, today, silicon cells are the most common. Later we will go into depth on the different forms of silicon cells. Above these cells is a protective layer of glass, and below, a protective layer of polymer. To complete the panel, an aluminum frame is added to the perimeter. Silicon is the crucial powerhouse of solar panels. Silicon can be found in many everyday items, from computer chips to bricks to even glass. Silicon was discovered in 1824 by heating potassium in a silica container and removing the unwanted byproducts. Today, we know silicon can be found as quartz within the Earth's crust. However, silicon is usually extracted by superheating sand to over 2,000 degrees Celsius. Because of this, silicon is not very expensive and sells at just over $1 per pound. However, it is used to create chips that go into many expensive products, making its value very high. And now for a little fun fact. Silicon can be found in multiple states as amorphous and crystalline. Crystalline is what is typically used in solar panels, and this can be found as mono or polycrystalline depending on whether they are individual or cluster crystals. Here you can see an image of silicon being created. This is done by combining silicon sand and magnesium powder and pouring it into a mixture of muriatic acid and water. What results is all the other elements being released in an explosion at the top and the silicon being dropped within the water at the bottom. I'd like to thank you for taking your time to watch my presentation on solar panels. Hopefully you feel inspired to one day choose solar energy as a clean alternative to traditional energy.